So can you let me know if you could hear me, please? I was trying to connect. Aaron, good morning, Lauren, Shannon, Jamie, Donna. So can you hear me? Zero was first with chatting anyway. So let me know if you could hear me because I'm not sure if it's using my computer or my microphone. Yes, you could hear me. Okay, good. Hello, how are you? Thank you to those of you that joined me on Tuesday. Rosemary, now I know what you look like, so I'm going to visualize you in your space that I saw on Tuesday. So that was really lovely to meet Rosemary, who was practiced with me for a very long time, and I wasn't able to see her. Same thing happened with Lauren when she signed up for my class through Torrance Memorial, and it's Zoom, so I was able to actually see her. And there is something there for me when I can see you, and yeah, there's something there. So yes, good. Carol, good morning. Good morning, ladies. So today I would like to focus on the word balance. And I think that when we think of balance, we think about our body in space and our ability to feel secure. And so I like to go really deep with that word balance, that word balance is not just about standing on one foot or being physically grounded, that the word balance is finding balance and harmony in many different areas. So to expand that, and today we're going to, I guess, play or introduce that word and all of the aspects that it can entail. So I will bring that word in a lot today. Hi, Dina. Nice to have you here. And then Joyce. Hello, Joyce. Yeah, and Joyce, it was so great for me to see you guys there. And then I think you saw that She's Way is in Japan, which was really lovely. So it was really nice. Thank you. I had a lot of nerves going into that the week before. I was very calm on Tuesday. And I realized that when I showed up, when I saw familiar faces, that would be very comforting for me. So thank you to those of you that showed up and also that show up all the time, because many of you have practiced with me for years. And it is really what keeps me going. When I think about it, I love what I do. I believe in this practice. And I think that getting people to understand what yoga is a challenge, because there's this misconception of it being that demands flexibility. And many of you already realize that that's not the case, that there's so much deeper than this. And sometimes we can't even articulate what it is that we're gaining or learning or strengthening along the way. We just know that we started here, you get to here, and you're stronger and you're more limber and you have better balance and more confidence. And it starts to chisel away at the other side of the spectrum, which is the fear, the feeling breakable or fragile. And it just happens. And it's really hard to quantify that, to put it into not only words, but to say, like, what is the timeline? When does it happen? To give concrete, if you do this for 1 week, this happens. If you do this for 2 months, this happens. It's very hard because it's individual, because it's multi-layered what's happening when we practice yoga. Debbie, nice to see that you're back. Oh, yeah, I remember. Yes, perfect. So in case thank you, Rosemary. In case there are people here that have not ever practiced before, I'm going to take that into account today when I am teaching, and especially now that I know that someone is here that is rather new. So I might give a little more reminders of listening to your own body. And so even if I guide this class and if I lead it and share the tools and the wisdom of this practice, it needs to be that you listen to your inner voice and your inner guide that says, yes, this is good, or no, it's not good. Okay. So that's going to be really important. You made it, Carolyn, just in the nick of time. Just kidding. All right. So let's begin in a seated position. last week I learned something when I had a new person to the class. You know, I'm always learning something. I'm always learning. Is that sometimes it's really hard when your mind is going 100 miles a minute to stop. And the longer you practice yoga and the more you understand that the physical practice, what we're doing when we come into our body, is to start slowing down the mind. And then when we do get to that slower place, especially when we do physical stuff, slower is harder. Slower develops strength and range of motion in your joints and flexibility in your muscles. So I want us to begin in a seated position because today's theme is balance. The first thing we're going to do is begin with a balancing breath. So to find a seated position that's comfortable for you, it could be a crisscross leg position where you bolster up your body. So you sit on a folded towel or a blanket or something to elevate the spine and the pelvis, especially if you have tight hips, and your knees will let you know if you have tight hips or not. If the knees are here, that's tightness in the hips. And then if one knee's up and one's down, one hip is tighter than the other hip. So just notice that. And then the other way is the Vadrasana, hero's pose, where you sit back on your heels. And this may need to be supported with a pillow, with a blanket, or a block. So please find a supported seated position. And we're going to begin in the seated position because for those of you that may be new to the practice, sometimes just stopping your body, it's not doable and the mind starts to take over. The mental energy is a little challenging. So we're going to do a breath work where we're going to do alternate nostril breathing. And this helps to balance both hemispheres of the brain. It starts to regulate the breath coming in one side and the other. And so we're going to do, this is a breath of balance. And that is the theme of today, is balance. So find yourself in whatever is comfortable. Make sure it is comfortable so that you minimize the physical distraction body to the mind. So we're trying to do a few things here. We're trying to harmonize the mind and harmonize the body, and we're using each one of those to harmonize the other. So then it's the balance between the mental and the physical. So I did mention that that word balance would play in a lot today. So wherever you are, find where you need to come to a seated position. Let's come to a seated position and let's take our hands and let's just do a little shaking out any agitation or anything that's in your body. Let's get rid of everything. Let's arrive to this moment of self-care, this moment of you working on you, you taking care of you in whatever that looks like and whatever that means for you. So just shake, 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 shake. Make sure that you're comfortable and then bring yourself to a stop and notice what happened there. Hopefully able to shake out a little of the sillies. You know, when kids are in preschool and there's a lot of energy going on with them, sometimes that's what we do is we get them to move or shake, or if we have an animal that's very active, we throw the ball and just try to burn up or move all of that physical energy. So the alternate nostril breathing, the hand position I was taught in India that I will share, and if you choose another one, that's fine as well, is with the right hand. You bend the pointer finger and the middle finger, and you use the thumb to close off the right nostril and the pointer finger to close off the left nostril. So the thumb closes off the right, the pointer finger closes off the ring finger closes off the left. The pointer finger and the middle finger are down. And so this is the hand position, and if this is uncomfortable in any way for you, you can. The round part of the nostril is a nice place to actually close off the nose. So let's do a little clearing of the nostrils first. Just do a little, in case there's any, and sometimes having a tissue is really good for this as well. So pointer finger and middle finger are down. Let's begin by closing off the right nostril. Close off the right nostril, eyes. And when the eyes are closed, start to notice your body, make sure it is in a comfortable position. And if it's not, wiggle your way or move your way into comfort. Allow the left palm to be down on the thigh and the left underneath the left shoulder so that you are helping to put yourself in a nice corrected or a more correct postural position, having your elbow underneath your shoulder. Breathe in and out through the nose. Begin to bring your awareness to your body. So bring the mental energy as if you take an elevator from the brain down into the body. And feel that heaviness as you start to move your awareness down into your body. Feel your position you're in. And then begin to bring your awareness to the breath as you breathe in the left nostril and out of the left nostril. There's a diagonal pattern. So as we breathe in the left nostril, it goes towards the right brain, the brain of creativity, the artistic, creative aspect, the right hemisphere. I'm going to guide you through this breath. We're going to close off one nostril at a time and breathe completely through the other nostril. I'll guide you and then I'll allow you to go on your own. Try to stay focused on where the breath enters and leaves the nostrils. So let's take a breath to clear. Inhale left. Exhale left. Let's begin. Inhale left. Close off the left nostril. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close off the right nostril. Exhale left. Inhale left. Close off the left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close off the right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Close off the left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close off the right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Close off the left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close off the right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Close off the left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close off the right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Close off the left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close off the right. Exhale left. Continue on your own as you inhale to the left. Continue to count or to notice the side that you're breathing in and out. Keep your awareness right at the nostrils as the breath enters the body and leaves the body. Breathe deeply, fully, and evenly in each nostril. And try to slow down the breath, evening out the inhale and the exhale. And wherever you are, finish this last breath. Then take one more round, ending with the exhale at the left nostril. When you finish that last breath, let it go. Let the breath go back to its natural rhythm. Bringing Bringing your hands together, rub your hands together, then gently cover your eyes to minimize the light source. Bring your awareness to your eyelids as you allow them to blink themselves open. Feel that. And just notice how you feel. Notice if there is a calm. Notice if there is a slowing down. Notice if you feel in your body a relaxation. And we're going to move gently and slowly to the floor, keeping whatever it is we were able to create in terms of stimulation. You're going to bring yourself with your blanket up at the top of your mat for your head, and then reaching to the side, keeping your arm nice and long. Bring yourself all the way down so that only your head is on the blanket, the head and the neck. So move the blanket up, back is free. And then press your elbows into the floor. Lift the upper back off the floor as you slide the shoulder blades closer to the spine. Keep your knees bent. Your feet are flat, knees are bent. The feet are wider than the body, and the knees are resting on each other. And then bring the arms out to the side, straight out to the side. So there is no bend in the elbow yet. And then press your shoulders down towards your feet. So feel that the upper shoulders move. Press the arms into the floor really strongly. Feel that activate the back of the body, the muscles of posture, alignment, and balance. And then from here, you're going to gently fingertips on the floor as you bend the elbows, sliding the finger towards the wall behind you, making sure the elbows stay on the floor, the fingers and the hands stay on the floor, until whatever sensation you feel is enough for your body. Notice what's happening to your low back. So this is bringing a little postural correction deeply inside the body, at the muscles on the spine, where the arms attach to the body. If you need a little more, so notice whatever sensations you're feeling, it may be enough. If you need a little more, you can slide the backs of the hands on the floor up. Let it be the upper arm bone that's lifting. Let the elbow be rising, not the shoulders. The elbows are rising. Come into a place where you feel an appropriate sensation of stretching, whatever is where you need to be in your body. Learning to listen to your body and allow your body to guide what it needs. And then bring your awareness to the back of your head. Slide the back of the head up so that the chin, the lower jaw becomes parallel to the wall across the room from you, not pointing up towards the sky. Let the neck. Placing yourself here on the floor so that we can open, create more space in the body, and stretch deeply those stabilizing muscles on the joints. Bring your awareness to your breath at the nostrils. Begin to breathe in. And bring the breath down to the lower ribs and to the soft belly. So allow the opening to take place in the thoracic spine where the ribs are attached and the underarms. Feel on the exhale the softening of wherever you feel tension that you created as you placed your spine and your whole skeleton in a nice postural alignment. Let the breath come down to the belly, feel the ribs expand, feel the belly expand. Get to know your body. And get to know your body in ways that may be different. Not always listening to whatever pain signals the body sends, but rather learning aspects of your body so that you can start to have more control over finding that alignment, finding that posture, arranging yourself internally deep at your deepest places, in the joints, in the midline.
So you could begin to align yourself to a place where you will minimize wear and tear, pain and discomfort, and find balance and coordination in the joints. Let's take 3 more breaths down to the belly. Notice what you notice. Notice where the tension is. Let the exhale release the tension. And then take your last breath like this. Let's take your fingers, start to move your fingers. Let's take the arms out wide. Inhale. Bring your arms up, bend the elbows, and let the arms go down the sides. Let them go to the outside of the back of the arms. Keep the arms right above your throat or right above the upper shoulders. You inhale to open. Each time you come, you bend the elbows, you're going to bring a different forearm in front. You inhale to open and you exhale to bend a different arm in front. Notice how this feels. If your shoulders don't like this, you can try to let your arms be closer to right above your heart and see if that has an effect on the way this feels in your shoulders. Finding what's right for you in your body. And then bring yourself, arms are overhead. Take one leg at a time to lengthen your body. Lengthen, 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 stretch, stretch, stretch. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, draw the right knee into your chest. Draw that knee in really deep. Notice what you're feeling. Notice wherever you're feeling the stretch. And then hold on to the right leg with the right arm. Open the leg to the side. Keep it pretty high. Feel the inner thigh stretch here. Then we're going to go to the outside of the upper right thigh. Keep the knee high as you direct the right knee across the body. If you have a posterior hip replacement, you need to be careful with that. Bring your knee into your chest. Let's do 3 unbendings on the inhale. Exhale to bend. Inhale, unbend. Exhale, bend. Inhale, unbend. If you could keep the legs straight, keep the legs straight. If you could point the toes, point the toes. If you need to bend the knee, bend the knee. And then slowly, slowly lower that leg, strengthening hip flexors, strengthening quads, strengthening the support of the hip. Inhale, arms are overhead. Exhale, draw that left knee into the chest slow. Notice the function as it comes in. Take the right arm to the right, and as you inhale, keep the knee high. Open the left knee to the left. Feel the inner thigh stretch and whatever else you feel stretching. We're going to guide that left knee over towards the right, paying attention if you have a hip replacement on the outer left hip, a posterior hip replacement. 3 times here, you're going to unbend on the inhale, bend on the exhale. Go slow. Inhale, articulating your joints. 1 more. See if you could come to a straight leg position or as close as you can get. Point the toes, lengthen. So lengthen that leg as long as you can as you slowly lower it. Slower is harder. You're developing strength in your joints. Inhale, arms are overhead. Exhale, right knee comes in. Inhale to open the right knee to the right. Feel the inner thigh stretch. Keep the knee pretty high as you guide the right knee over to the left with the exhale. Inhale to unbend the leg. Exhale to bend. Inhale to unbend. Exhale. Inhale. Point the leg, lengthen. Feel that the leg is lengthening out of that hip. Contract the core, supporting the belly, supporting the back. Inhale, arms are overhead. Exhale, left knee in. Inhale to open the left leg to the left, and then guide the leg across the body. 3 times. Inhale to unbend. Exhale to bend. Inhale, unbend. Exhale, bend. And last one. Inhale to unbend. Point the leg. Point the foot. As you slowly exhale, long, long, long. Inhale, arms are overhead. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Go through the full range of motion. Draw the knee in deeply. As you inhale, open the leg as much as you can. Feel the inner thigh stretch. As you exhale, guide the leg as far as you can to feel that outside stretch. And then unbend as deeply as you can to feel the hamstrings stretch and move. Last one, inhale, point the toes, lengthen the leg, feel the stretch in the front of the foot, feel the work in the hip capsule and in the quadriceps. Inhale, arms are overhead. Last time, exhale, draw the knee in. Inhale to open the knee to the left, feel the inner thigh stretch, warming up the body. Cross the midline on the exhale. Inhale to unbend, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last time, inhale to unbend, straighten the leg, point the toes, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And then bring the knees to a bent knee position. Take the arms into a scarecrow arm position, like we began today. And then push your feet into the floor to lift your pelvis up. Slight tuck in the pelvis. So posterior tilt. Let the low back move towards the floor. As you push the feet in, there's a posterior tilt. And then allow the low back to touch the floor and to lengthen as you bring your pelvis back down. Take your arms to the side and then walk your feet off the mat. We're going to begin to inhale, let your legs slowly go to the side. Don't throw them over there. We're trying to warm up joints, trying to arrange the body here, trying to not muscle your way, being more passive as you allow the lengthening of the muscles to happen while they're relaxed. So relaxed and lengthening as opposed to contracting the muscles and allowing this to happen. You inhale to the side, and as you exhale, gently contract your core, push your belly button to your spine to bring your knees back up to center. Inhale to the side, and exhale back to center. The next time you come to the left, stay there, and allow the legs to soften into this position. Notice what you notice as that right leg is creating stretch in the hip. And then activate the right arm. Lift the floor and move it away from your head. Flex the wrist strongly so you feel the arm muscles, the arm. And then deepen the stretch in the front of that right hip joint. Push the right foot into the floor and direct the right hip joint straight up towards the sky, not over towards the left. And then if you'd like, you can press your chest up towards the sky, adding a little extension to the upper spine. Feel the stretch on the right side. Direct the right kneecap away from you towards the foot edge of your mat. Let the left side be soft. Feel inside your body as you do this. Take one more breath and then exhale to draw yourself back up to center. Let's go to the other side, slowly allowing the knees to move over to the right. Try to be very body aware here. Activate that left arm, flex the wrist, press that left hip joint up towards the sky and the left kneecap away. So keep your mind in your body. Keep your mind in the place of sensing and noticing, and try to find as much space in the shoulder joint, the hip joint as you can. Let the right side relax. Press that left hip up towards the sky and the left kneecap away from you. And then breathe down to your belly. So creating space and warmth and fluids internally so that when you do some of the deeper work, you are more safe inside, getting everything prepared. Take one more breath. And then exhale to bring yourself back to center. Let's take the legs into closer to the body, push your feet into the floor, lift your pelvis up. So we're preparing the body and the joints to be able to move through certain ranges of motion. We're going to do a core, work on our core. So when it comes to the core, think about zippering up the midline. And if you think about that, try that right now. If you imagine there's a zipper at the base of your body, you'd have to draw inward if you were going to start to zipper. So the fabric needs to come to center first before you can even start to zipper up. So feel that you're drawing yourself inward and then drop 1 inch and then draw inward and up an inch, inward and up an inch. And at the same time, press back towards the ground, towards the floor, so that you feel the low back or the body moving back. One more of those. Soften, let everything go. And as if you were going to drop a zipper, draw everything towards the bottom of the body to the center. Then draw up 1 inch. In and up, press back. In and up, press back. In and up, press back. We're going to bring that into our work when we do the core. You need that to support the back of the body. So bring the knees up off the floor and bring the hands up off the floor. The closer the knees are to the chest, the easier this is. So if you're new or if you're nursing any kind of issues, the knees closer to the body, the more advanced would be to have the knees directly over the pelvis. And when we reach our feet down, the farther away you reach from your body, the more work this is for the core and stabilizing muscles. Okay, on your inhale, you're going to let one hand and one leg go down, and the other arm doesn't move at all until the other hand comes back. That's where the challenge is. Let's begin. Inhale, left hand goes back, right foot goes down. Exhale, zipper up the midline to come back to center. Inhale, right hand goes back, left foot goes down. Exhale to zipper up to come back to center. Inhale, right foot, left hand. Exhale to come up. Inhale, right hand, left foot. Exhale to come up. Inhale, left hand, right leg, right foot. Right hand, left foot. Continue protecting your core when your limbs go far away from your body and you draw them back. Feel that support in the center of the body. This is diagonal. It's a way that the brain functions when it comes to communication. So setting up the balance receptors inside the body so that when we challenge ourselves with balance, we're going to be nice and warm in the brain. One more each side. Right foot, left hand. Right hand, left foot. Bring yourself back to center and draw the knees into the chest. Let's grab our block. Bring the block. The block, there's 3 different ranges, lengths here. There's this long one, and then there would be the skinniest way, and then finally there's this way, which is medium. So we're going to go with the medium. We're going to take the medium block, and if you don't have a block, you can roll up a towel or a blanket and try to make the distance be about that, about 6 inches, so that you put your hips in a nice position. So we're going to warm up rotational muscles of the trunk, which come into play when it comes to balance and posture and alignment. Again, here, if the knees are closer to the chest, a little easier. If the knees are over the pelvis, a little more challenging. Squeeze the block, flex the ankles. And then you're going to inhale over to your left, squeeze the block, zipper up your core as you come back to center. Inhale over to the right and zipper up the core to come back to center. Inhale left, zipper up to come back to center. If you want to add a little bit more onto this, you can unbend the knees, making the lever the farther away from your body, a little bit more challenging. Make sure you squeeze the block and zipper up your midline to come back to center. So nice trunk support as the legs move away from your body. Last time to the right. Bringing yourself back to center. Let's take the block out. Bring the knees into the chest. Let's stretch the legs to prepare for standing. Get a strap or a belt or something, and let's put it on the left foot. Take the left leg up towards the sky. Wrap your hands around the strap and draw the shoulder blades onto the floor. If you would like to straighten the right leg, you could straighten the right leg. With the osteoporosis version of this pose, we need a straight knee so that we're pulling on the pelvis where the muscle begins, the muscle at the back of the leg, the hamstring. So pull the strap down, activate the muscles of that left leg, hugging all the bones with the muscles, and then draw the leg towards the wall behind you. Don't let the low back flatten on the floor. Try to stay in a neutral pelvis here. and firm up the upper thigh as you push the upper thigh away from you and you pull the strap towards you. So create these forces inside the body so that the origin of that hamstring muscle can pull on where pelvis, signaling the pelvis in these angles to get stronger for you. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and release. Let's come to the other side. Bring the right foot up into the strap. Draw your hands close to your body. Keep your shoulder blades on the floor. Straighten the left leg if that's what you're doing. And then firm up the muscles of the right leg. Draw the right leg towards the floor. And then when you're ready, let's begin. Draw the leg towards the wall behind you. Keep the knee straight. You could press the left leg into the floor, firm up the muscles of the right thigh, pressing that right leg away from you, drawing the knee towards the wall or the leg, the knee, the foot, the whole leg towards the wall behind you. Keep the knee straight. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and release the tension. Second leg stretch to prepare the inner thighs for the standing poses. Let's take the hands down the strap. Hold on to the strap in the right hand and slide the hand down. If you like to work with a straight left leg, you can. It's very nice and stabilizing for the hip. And then the key here is you keep the legs straight. And when you do lengthen out to the right, make sure that the leg doesn't go forward. So there is a place where you may need to stop because that may be the only range of motion you have in your leg. And if the leg starts to go towards the toe part or the foot part of your mat, you may need to stop and not go any farther. And if you need to put a block underneath your leg for support, if the leg feels really heavy, depending on what your range of motion is, you could try that. Feel the stretch on the inner thigh. This is the adductor, another muscle that's attached onto the pelvis, creating a force and a stressor on that pelvis, so the pelvis reacts by laying down more bone for you. A very precarious part of the body to fracture if we fall. So strengthening our pelvis near that hip joint. Let's take one more breath here. You could come back with a bent knee, and or you could come back with a straight leg, kind of challenging with a straight leg. So do what's appropriate for you, for your body, for your ability. The other side, you're going to take the strap on the left foot. Hold the strap, slide your hand down. If you'd like to straighten the right leg, straighten the right leg. Draw the leg up close to your body and then to the arch part of the strap as you lengthen, and go as far as you can comfortably, depending on whatever the range of motion is in your adductors, your inner thigh muscles. Press into the arch part of the strap. If you need to put a block under, put a block under. And then notice that right hip. Don't let the right tushy fly off the floor. You could take your hand on the right hip and firm up your core, zipper, 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 to help support the midsection as the leg moves away from the body. Press into the arch part of the strap. Feel that adductor stretch, that inner thigh muscle. Press the right leg into the floor. If it's straight, that'll help with stabilizing your pelvis. Take one more breath. And then either bending that leg or drawing that leg back up to center. Let's take to the side. We'll come into the pose of strengthening the back of the body, the bridge pose. Take the block between the knees. Take the blanket away from the back of the head. Lengthen the back of the head. Find that support in the middle of the head and lengthen the back of the neck. Then you're going to walk your feet a little closer to your body, squeeze your block. And then allow your pelvis to come into a posterior tilt. So the low back goes towards the floor. You come into that posterior tilt. And then Slide the outside edges of the arms and the shoulder blades closer to the center of the body. Arms are alongside your body. Squeeze your block, let your low back touch the floor, and then squeeze the tushy, squeeze the block, push the feet into the floor, and lift yourself up. Squeeze the tushy, squeeze the block, lengthen your knees. Lift the back of the ribs off the floor and feel that the weight stays in the upper back. Clasp the hands if that works for you, or if you need to bend the elbows, let the palms face each other, fingertips are up towards the sky. Lift the floor, lift the back ribs away from the floor, squeeze the tushy. Feel that power in the back of the body. Then notice, don't let the weight come anywhere near the neck or the head. Let it. Chin is towards the chest, heart is moving. Let the shoulder blades at the back of the body press forward towards the heart. Help add or support that extension position in the thoracic spine. Supported back bend. And allow the muscles that help with this back bend strengthen. Postural muscles, alignment. So we're going to go slow when we come down here. So bring your awareness to the back of the body where your back is off the floor. And begin to place one spot low. When you begin to come closer to the bottom of the ribs, come up onto your tippy toes and tilt your pelvis, posteriorly tilt, to try to place that low back on the floor, adding length to that lower spine. Finally, you feel the top edge of your pelvis, and then your sacrum touches the floor. Take the block out. Let's lengthen the body here. And then let's bend the knees. Let's come all the way onto the belly to do the locust pose, strengthening the back of the body in a different direction against gravity. So with this, you're going to come up here onto Sphinx Pose, elbows underneath the arms, stretching the front of the belly where the lower ribs attach, or the muscles of the low ribs attach down to the pubic bone. And then lengthen your spine. So as you lower down, bring length into your body. Take one leg up, roll it in the socket so that the inner thighs go up towards the sky, and then do the same thing with the other side. Lift the leg up, roll the leg in the socket so the inner thigh goes up towards the sky. Let the hands come down alongside your body. Let the forehead touch the floor and the nose. The thumbs are touching the body and the palms are up. On the next inhalation, lift your hands off the floor, lift your head off the floor, lift your legs off the floor. The soles of the feet are pointing up towards the sky. Legs are lengthening away from you. Fingertips lengthen away, and the crown of the head lengthens away from you. If you'd like to add on to this, you could turn the palms down, bring them all the way to the side in an airplane version. Or you can bend the arms. Whatever you do, reach out your toes, reach out the big toe. Reach out all the toes. Of your head, reach out your fingertips. Feel that strength in the back of the body. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and bring yourself all the way down. Take one on top of the other. Let your feet go a little wide here. Let the forehead rest on the back of the hands. Wiggle your pelvis back and forth, side to side. And then bend the knees, bring the feet up. Let the feet go side to side, slowly. Don't push them, just let whatever your body says it wants to unwind or to release. Breathe deep down to your belly. Notice your heart rate. And then bring yourself back to center. The last two poses, the locust and the bridge, used many muscles, so that heart may be beating a little deeper as the need for oxygen increased in the body. Take the right hand overhead and roll onto your right side. Knees, bring your left hand on the floor in front of you and spread your hand right by your chest, right by your heart. Then press your entire hand into the floor, the fingertips, the knuckles, the thumb, the palm. And then you're going to bring yourself up, let your shoulder lead the way. So we're going to do, and I'm going to suggest we do it for a minute. I'll tell you at the 30-second mark. Now, for those of you that have issues in your wrists or you're new to the practice, waiting on our wrists can be very challenging. And it's also very necessary to strengthen this part of our body because it's a very precarious part of the body if we are to trip or stumble and need to break or fall. So I'd like to say that you can either roll up your mat, the front edge of your mat, if your wrist bothers you, so that you can minimize how much your wrist bends when you do this, so how much flexion comes into the wrist. Or maybe you have something else laying around that you could put there so you can, like a wedge kind of surface, so you can in the wrist joint. That can be helpful. Then you're going to take your hands wide and the pointer fingers are forward. That's a little external rotation in the shoulder joint that can be helpful for shoulders. Then let's take a foot back. So the choices here before we come up, you can either be in a full plank, you could be in a modification of plank, or if your wrists are really not happy and you'd really rather not, you could come down to a modification of dolphin or a full dolphin. So choose what's appropriate for your body today. And it may not be that tomorrow it'll be like that. It's just whatever today is telling you. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Let's bring ourselves into whatever version of plank you're going to do. And look down at your fingers. Press your fingertips into the floor. Notice the strength in the hands when you do this. Press your palms into the floor. Press your fingers into the floor. Evening out in the hands. And then push your body weight back. Feel the body weight going out the heels. Then press the feet into the floor. Press all 10 toes into the floor. So you feel very solid in whatever's holding you up here. If you need to come down now, that's 30 seconds. So for those of you that want to come down at 30, then let's stay up for another 30 for those of you that would like to stay up. Pressing your hands in, pressing your feet. Lengthen out the crown of the head. Lengthen out the heels. Press your hands into the floor. Press your feet, draw them towards each other. Feel those deep flexors, the deep core muscles, stabilizers on the joints. And then let's bend our knees. Bring yourself up. Shake your wrists. Stretch the wrists. So you can either come into the hero's pose, the Vadrasana pose, or stay up if you need to for your wrists, for your knees. I mean, the knees don't always like that for some people. So we're going to take the hands, bring the hands forward, keep the shoulders down, hands are forward, and you're going to take the left wrist over the right wrist. So the left wrist goes on top of the right wrist, and then the palms touch. You slowly, slowly roll the wrist, and then bring the hands up. So this is a pose. This is something to strengthen the wrist joint. I think with balance, it's important to introduce any wrist strengthening because balance is fall prevention. And this is to make you more receptive and stronger in your wrist joints because that's part of fall prevention. You could move the elbows to the sides. You could bring the hands down, move them away from your body, wherever you need to feel the greatest stimulation in the wrist joint. Take one more breath.
Bring your hands forward. Backs of the hands face each other. Thumbs are pointing down towards the ground. Bring the right wrist over the left and then clasp the hands. Palms are touching. Lower the shoulders. Slowly bring the hands down, through, and up. And find here where you can create the most stress in that wrist area. So the wrist will respond by getting stronger. Hands may be away from the body. Maybe you're able to move the elbows farther or lower the wrists, lower the hands. Find what feels appropriate for you. Take some deep breaths here. Take one more breath. And then let's unwind. Take your wrists, shake. So notice that you feel some tension there with all that twisting, that rotation of those lower arm bones to create that stress, meaning we were pulling on the bones, stressing the bones out. And when you create stress, hopefully it's the right amount of stress, and that will have the bones respond by laying down more layers for you because you're asking for more. All right, so let's come to a standing position. Come here onto your legs like this. Bring one foot forward, flip the back toes under, take your hand on that front thigh. Inhale to come back a little bit, and then exhale to bring yourself to a standing position. And then you're going to clear your space. So before you bend down, bending at the hip joint. So you're going to bend at the hips when you need to bend down, so you keep your back nice in its natural curves. And look forward to keep your head up, your throat up. Don't let your 10-pound head, which is what the average head is, don't let the 10-pound head round forward too much. Okay, so if you need to get a chair, go ahead and get a chair. Actually, I will teach with a chair. So it's nice to have a chair or a wall, unless you know for sure that your balance is really, really amazing. And even one day may be different than the next. It's better to be safe than sorry. So having a chair there, we're going to warm up the feet first. So take the feet, flip the toes under, and be on the toenails so you feel the stretch coming into the top of the foot, getting all the communication that begins in the ankle joint for balance to start, or begins in the foot and translates up through the ankles. And then flip that foot on the side. So you're on the pinky toe edge, and you can move forward and back. Move forward and back a little. So just whatever range of motion you have, whatever ability you have to start stretching the foot here. And this could be something that you learn here and you bring into your life daily. So it doesn't have to just remain with your practice on the mat. This is a behavior that you take off the mat. Flip your toes under and stretch the foot. Feel the top of the foot stretch. We introduced this today at the beginning of class in the warm-up. And then flip the foot over. And again, be in your body. So your body says, yeah, that's enough movement in that direction. And know what's appropriate for you. Take your toes one at a time. You're going to bend all 5 toes. Make sure it's not the first and the second toe. Bend all 5 toes. Feel the toes bend. Do the same thing with the other side. And notice what you notice. Notice if this is an okay range of motion for you, if it feels tight, if it feels limited. These are all aspects of our body where the communication for balance, beginning in the toes, coming up to the brain, a lot of the front part of the foot has to do with our sense organs. So it's important that we keep all of this unobstructed, moving, and communicative, and that we understand the importance. Let's come up onto our toes, lifting our heels up. This is where you may need that chair. If you look forward at something that doesn't move, it makes it a little easier. And then if you apply the zipper action, when you lift up, it'll make it easier. So let's see if you want, well, let's add a little challenge here. The chair's there or whatever you need. So you're going to, next time you come up, bring one arm up with your legs when you rise up, and then come down. grab the floor with your toes. Bring another hand up and then come down. Let's do one more on each side. Warming up the calves, warming up the balance of the toes. Really grab on with the toes. And then let's take both hands and bring both hands up when you come up and stay here. Reach out your fingertips, grab the floor with your toes, weight yourself on that upper toe pad or the upper foot pad. Look straight ahead at something that doesn't move. Balance on your toes. And then bring yourself down. Take your legs, shake your legs out. Take one foot in front of the other, exactly in front of the other, like you were walking a very thin line. So there's no toes out to the side. One foot is exactly in front of the other. You have a back foot and you have a front foot. Bring your weight forward and then bring your weight back and take your front toes, come onto your tippy toes. So you could stay here or you could bring your knee up and stay on that back foot, stay on the heel of the back foot and allow that ankle joint to dance. This is the ankle joint moving through its balance receptors, figuring out where you are in space, trying to figure out where the weight is. So let's do a little challenge. Take your hands, move your hands back, move your hands almost like you're doing a backstroke, and then take that opposite leg out in different directions as well to let that ankle joint figure out how to keep you balanced. And at the same time, we're loading up that hip joint, that back leg that you're standing on, and you're strengthening aspects of that hip, and then the hip has to find balance as well. And then go ahead and take yourself out, shake that leg. Remember what leg you worked. You should feel it a lot right now. And let's do the opposite. Take the opposite foot behind, the opposite foot in front. Bring your weight forward, bring your weight back, and then bring yourself onto your front tippy toes. Now that back foot, and then you decide you're either going to stay here or you're going to come up. And allow the back foot, move yourself back into the heel. So you feel yourself in the heel. Let the ankle dance. The ankle's trying to figure out where you are. And then we're going to add that challenge with the leg, with the hands, whatever you can. Look straight ahead at something that doesn't move. This is a really nice way to figure out what the heck. Your body is like, whoa, where are you? What's going on? Couldn't this be something you did on a daily basis to strengthen your balance? To strengthen the aspects of balance? There's so many of them. Physical, nervous system. And then bring yourself out. Shake that leg, shake the leg. So I'd like to do a standing pose that strengthens the upper body, strengthens the shoulder joint. So we do not need the chair for this. Put that off to the side. We're going to do the warrior two position. Well, actually, if balance is an issue and you felt that a wide stance would make you uneasy, it would be better to have a chair there or to have your body near a wall so that you feel secure with the wall. So take your feet wide here, pretty wide. We're going to go to the left side first. So you're going to keep your legs straight, lift up the toes. Now the kneecap of the left leg is pointing forward. We're going to pick up the toes and swivel on the heel so that the toes move to the left and the kneecap moves to the left. And then the back leg, you're going to lift up the ankle joint and move the ankle joint to the right. So the left leg is forward and the right leg is back. And then you're going to make a very strong, firm foundation with that right back leg. The pinky toe edge and over the ankle joint. We've done a lot of work here, a lot of warming up. So there should be a lot of sensation and feeling and a lot of communication from that back leg. Really push that right pinky toe edge and especially over that ankle joint. Press that into the floor, lift the arch up, press the big toes into the floor. Then bend that left knee. Body is right over your pelvis. Take your shoulders forward, take them up, take them back, and take them down. With the arms, with resistance, push away from the right leg. Let the left leg bend. Let this be more about the right leg than it is about the left. As you bring your arms up with resistance
and then you exhale to come out. So load up that left knee slowly, press, activate that right leg as you come, push both feet into the floor, let the joints, the hip joint and the knee joint, load up with that body weight. And one more time, you're gonna inhale, push your right foot into the floor, active right foot, push your left foot into the floor and allow the left hip and the left knee to bend. Come as low as you can here. This is your warrior two. Look over the left finger and then bend that left elbow. Take your spine, so bend at the hip, keep your spine nice and long. As you bring your left arm onto your left thigh, maybe you could go a little deeper here. Take the right arm up towards the sky and then rotate the trunk forward. Maybe you could bring the left arm on the inside of that left leg. Push your feet into the floor, draw that energy to the pelvis and lengthen your spine. Get nice and long here. If you can reach your arm up and over, add that. Go a little deeper if you can. Rotate your trunk forward. Press the outside edge of the right leg. Very active right foot, active left foot. Push your feet down. Get really tall in your torso. Take one more breath. And then push your feet into the floor and bring yourself back up through your warrior two. And then unbend the knee to come all the way up. Toes are forward. Lift the right toes. And keep that right leg straight as you move that right kneecap to the right foot to the right, put the right foot on the floor. And then lift the left heel up. Left foot goes back. So we're going to load up the joints, the right hip, the right kneecap. Shoulders are forward, they're up, they're back, and they're down. And then you're going to inhale with resistance, so strengthening the muscles of posture and balance in the back of the body, spinal support, loading up on the inhale. Exhale to unbend. Inhale and exhale. And then really push down over that pinky toe edge on that left foot. Active feet, active feet. Allow the bend, the flexion to come into the right. And then let's bend that right arm. Come onto your right thigh. Maybe you can load in there a little more. That's putting a lot of force in that left hip joint now, or that right hip joint. Arm is up towards the sky. Take the arm on the inside and rotate your trunk. Press down the outside edge of that left leg. Bring that energy up into the down. Zipper, zipper, zipper. Deep breaths. Press the feet into the floor, draw that energy up into the pelvis, lengthen your spine. Take one more breath. Bring yourself up and bring yourself up. So we're going to do the balance pose of tree. And before we come to tree, let's do a half moon pose before we get there. So a chair or a wall may be something you need. There's also the option of a block. So depending on where you are today, I find the wall to be the best way to develop the strength aspect of all the postural parts of our body, especially if you're newer or not feeling quite as strong yet. The Vadrasana is a pretty challenging pose. So to do it against the wall can really help with the balance aspect and then allow all that strengthening to happen. So let's go to the left foot first. So the choices here are that you use the chair. This is Vadrasana. You use the chair, or you use the showed you the pose, and then you'll decide what's the most appropriate for your body, or you use the wall. Okay, so let the left foot face the block or the chair. I'll do it with the chair. Bring your hand onto the block or the chair. Let your right leg lift up with strength. So lift it up. And then you're going to open your pelvis, open your chest forward. Keep your head in alignment with your upper body. And then bring your arm up or bring it over. Very strong leg that you're lifting in the air. Grabbing the floor with the foot. Lift that leg. Don't let it just hang out. And try to get it to be on the same plane as your body. Zipper up the midline. Take one more breath. And then bend that standing leg. Let's slowly come out of that. And let's go to the other side. So now maybe you see what I mean about the wall. The wall definitely makes this a little bit easier. So let's do this with the right. So you get the right foot to face forward. If you were near the wall, the pinky toe edge is parallel to the wall. You could have a bend in that knee as you begin to load up that leg. And then very active here, lifting up the leg with the side of the body. And then you bring the arm up or you bring the arm over. Make sure that leg is the same height. You're lifting it up. Don't let it just hang out. Open your chest, open your pelvis forward. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Be very active here. Take one more breath. And then let's go ahead. Bend, bend, bend. So the last pose will be the tree pose. So these poses have elements of balance in them while you're in them. And then they also strengthen a lot of the aspects of balance in the body, which is nice. So we're going to try to find our tree pose here. Look down and make sure your feet are in alignment. The tops of the feet will be closer together than the back edges. Bring your body weight forward, bring your body weight back, and feel that balance over the feet. Take your hands on your waist, and then push your body weight over to your left foot. So come towards your left foot, and make sure you don't dump in your waist. Come over to your left, come onto your right tippy toes, move your right knee to the side, and then bring the foot up either on top of the other foot or in between the knee and the ankle. Lift the chest. Breathe deep down to your belly. Just notice what you notice. Find something straight in front of you that doesn't move. Arms up. Focus on something right. Nice focal point. Take one more breath. And then let's bring our knees forward, bring our hands back down. Let's go to the other side. Starting with that nice alignment in the feet. Let's move the body weight over to the right foot. Come on to the left tippy toes. The left knee is out to the side and you bring the left foot up in between the knee and the ankle. Staying away from putting pressure on the inner knee joint with the heel or the foot. Find that length in your body, lift your chest and zipper, zipper, zipper. That core activation zippering up the midline. Feel the ankle dance, feel the foot doing what it's doing. Choose your gaze in front of you, and if you'd like to lift the arms up, you can add that as well. The more advanced you get, you could begin to play with this by looking up, the gaze up, or adding the eyes, closing the eyes. All things as you get more advanced and your balance gets stronger, you can start to add next layer aspects. Take one more breath. And then let's bring ourselves out of that. So the last and final pose we'll focus on today is the Shavasana pose, the pose of relaxation, the corpse pose. So get whatever you need to help yourself feel comfortable. It's always nice to put the legs up a chair if you have access to a chair. What you're going to do is when you come onto the floor, you're going to make sure that you reach your hand away when you come down onto the floor so that you do not round your spine and get yourself into a nice, comfortable position. If you need to bring your knees into your chest to realign anything, you do that. And then come into the final rest. Allow everything to settle. So begin to deepen your breath. Start to wiggle your fingers, your toes, roll your ankles, your wrists, and bring your knees into your chest, rocking side to side. Rock all the way onto your right side. And then pushing yourself away, try to lead with the shoulder and not the head.
We'll come up and we'll close the practice with the sound of Om. The sound of the Om is the blending of the Ah, the O, and the sound. Bringing the sound from the back of the throat to the middle of the mouth to the lips. So be inside your mouth right now. Notice where the sound comes from on your exhale. Take your hands together. Nice and tall. Lengthen the back of the neck. Slightly tuck the chin down towards the chest. Take a deep breath down to the belly. At the end of practice, we bow to each other in Namaste. Namaste. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'd love to hear from some of you how you're feeling. Debbie, I think if you're still here, that was the first class for you. So I'd love to hear how you're feeling. And I know nothing about you or your level. So hopefully that was okay for you. And for the rest of you, how are your wrists? How is your body feeling? I feel like that would have a lot of strength in it. So let me see. Hi, Athena. I didn't know you were here. You're welcome, Shannon. Feeling good? Yeah, good. It's always good to feel good after a yoga practice, isn't it? And to feel strong after all the work that you've just put in. That's a really nice, secure feeling. You're welcome, Carol. Perfect, Carolyn, thank you. Great, Rosemary, nice to hear that. So thank you so much for joining me, working on my osteoporosis lifestyle course, because that's something I would like to have something in a course format that people can actually create their own practice. So whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes a day to strengthen all the aspects of osteoporosis. So the bones stronger, the balance stronger, more length, more posture support, and all of that. Oh, good, Donna. So that's great that you were able to notice that we did so much work leading up to the challenge of the balance. We did Ardha Chandrasana, Karate Kid, and Tree. We did 3 main balance poses to check it to challenge. Yeah, but so Debbie, let's shift that. So shaky, noticing what you've lost. Let's not focus on what we don't have anymore. You're here now, and now it's a forward. So letting go of anything that got you to where you are now, and know that you can get stronger, because so many of these ladies that are here have gotten stronger. And that's what I think you need to understand. 3 years ago, I had a surgery and couldn't really do any of this stuff. My left leg would cave in all the time. Now I could stand up in that leg and move myself all over the place and challenge that ankle, that hip, and everything, because every day I did something to get to this point of strength. And so that's what's important, is what we are going to be able to do from here on out. You're welcome, Sharon. Well, see, and Donna was saying how great her tree was. So it was like, yeah. So it's possible. And that's really what I want to get through to you, is the possibilities of getting stronger and getting stronger in your balance, which is such a huge aspect for so many of us. So thank you so much. You're welcome, Lauren. I don't think I said you're welcome. I saw that now. And Jeannie, you're welcome. Dina, folding of the pad under your wrist with a plank. Good. Okay, great, Dina. I'm glad, because I know that you have wrist stuff. So that's good to know that that's the case for you. All right, Debbie, thank you. Thank you, everyone. I am off. I'm back here on Saturday. Yoga and stress reduction, because that's the key to health and healing, is managing our stress, for sure. Okay, have a great Thursday, and I will see you whenever I see you. Bye.